What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, and I just got back to my hotel from attending the Eternals worldwide red carpet premiere. It was actually blue carpet, which I thought was really cool. Actually, it fit with the theme of the Eternals, but I did an initial reaction right away walking out of the theater with Eric Voss from New Rock Stars and Greg Alba, John, Get Jabby. If you guys have seen him before, Mama's Geeky. All these awesome people, go subscribe to them now. They're all great. And Eternals was so beautifully different than I think Marvel has done before. It's very different. It doesn't so much feel like a Marvel movie, which I actually kind of enjoyed. Now, I've heard, just walking out of the theater, hearing everybody's opinions about it, there's so many mixed opinions about this. And I'm just going to give you the honest truth about how I feel about the movie. I don't think it was the greatest Marvel movie, but I truly really liked this movie a lot. I actually really loved the storytelling. I actually really loved the cinematography. I think it was a beautiful movie. Like, I really think this movie is beautiful in a lot of different ways. And I've heard some people talk about how they actually don't think it was that emotional, but I actually felt a lot of emotion in it, and I thought there was a lot of really good emotional parts in it. And it's interesting. It's just such an interesting movie. There are two post-credit scenes, which I will briefly talk about. This isn't a review. I can't do a review yet. This is just a social media reaction is what Disney says we can do. So I'm not really going to dive in detail, but I am going to tell you just my initial thoughts. And I can't express how much I thought this movie was beautiful. And this is interesting to me because I thought Shang-Chi was beautiful. I will say I did like Shang-Chi more than the Eternals, but I still love the Eternals. I still love this movie. And really, they're two very different movies. And really, the Eternals is really different than any other movie that Marvel has done. And I actually think that's a really good thing. I actually think that's a good sign that Marvel's not going to continue to do the same thing over and over again, which, in one hand, we do really love Marvel, right? We love Marvel. We love what they do. But eventually it might, I'm not going to say for sure because, their movies are awesome, but eventually it might kind of get repetitive. Might get boring. But these are completely new characters. I think there are a lot of twists in the movie that a lot of people kind of didn't see coming. Maybe some of you did. I was right about things. I was wrong about things. The post-credit scenes are not what I thought they would be. Well, I guess one is what I thought it would be, but none I really talked about that much. So one, I was like, whoa. It was really cool. I was sitting next to John Humphrey of The Real Rejects and Mama's Geeky, Tessa, and we were freaking out. And I think at one point in time, me and Tessa were grabbing each other's hands in the post-credits. We were like, no, it's this, no, it's this, no, it's this, no, it's this. And it was I was like, ah. And it was cool. It was cool. And wow, just the Celestials were just, I can't express how cool they were. It was really cool. Okay, this is an important Marvel movie. It's heavy. It's a heavy movie. It's dense. That's a word that a lot of people have been using, that this movie is dense, because it's almost like, this is going to sound weird because this happens a lot, but it's almost like watching a book. It's long. It's over 2.5 hours long. It's a long movie, but it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it at all. To me, at least. I know to some people they were I wanted it to move a little bit faster. But to me, I thought it was perfect. I thought they took the proper amount of time to do things. I didn't feel like I was bored, like some people said, because I didn't go in expecting a lot of action. But there's, I will say this. Some of the coolest scenes that I saw fighting came from Makari, and I wasn't expecting it. Really, her ability is she's super fast, right? There were some crazy cool scenes with her fighting, with her using her speed. I mean, we've seen some in the trailers, right? Where her and Kingo, he shoots in and she's checking him. Kingo's hilarious, by the way. He's awesome. Camille Nanjiani did a fantastic job because he cracked me up. I really like the characters now that I sit here thinking about it, and I've tried to gather my thoughts just a little bit to give you guys a truthful, honest reaction. I liked all the characters. Some people said they felt a disconnect to the characters. Some people said they didn't care about some of the characters. But I truly did enjoy the characters. I mean, they're all very different in their different ways, obviously. But I mean, there's 10 of them, right? There's a lot of characters. Then you have Dane Whitman as well, who's not an Eternal. But I mean, he's in the movie like, sporadically, right? He's not an Eternal, right? But his parts are really fantastic. I mean, it's Kit Harington. What, obviously you would expect that of him. He's fantastic. There was good chemistry between all of the Eternals, which I really enjoyed. I loved watching them. Like, as I sat there, I was just like, this is really cool. And it honestly felt like just the actors talking to each other almost. And maybe some people might not like that. I did. There were a lot of things I enjoyed about the movie. This isn't so much of again, it's not a traditional Marvel movie, but it's not so much as like, okay, we're going to really, really build up to like this one big thing and then it's going to happen. And then like, it's not a typical like climax. It's a lot of world building, a lot of character building. And eventually they do have that part, obviously. And it's all just visually phenomenal. At least I thought so. Again, Greg Alba from The Real Rejects, he didn't like it that much. And he stated his reasons why. You can go watch his video. But I disagree with him. And actually, John disagreed with him as well. I thought it looked just fantastic. I can't tell you how many times I went, whoa, that's cool. Like, literally, I would go, whoa, that's cool. And I think a lot of people are going to go in, at least looking at some of these scenes and saying, wow, that's actually pretty freaking cool. Like, that looks visually fantastic. I don't think it's going to be a movie for everybody, just perfectly honest. I personally truly did enjoy this movie. I would even go as far as to say that I loved this movie. It isn't like in my top 5. It probably would make my top 10. I would probably give it, this isn't a review, right? And I'll go into all that later when the embargo lifts, and I'll talk about specifically why things I like rate things a certain way. But I would probably give this like a 7 out of 10, whereas Shang-Chi I gave like a 9.5 out of 10, just because of some of the character arc at Shang-Chi I wanted more of. So like that slight, I'll probably give like Shang-Chi like a 9.7 out of 10, and Eternals like a 7 out of 10. I think just the storytelling was fantastic. Chloe Zhao, she's fantastic. I think the direction was exactly what she wanted it to be. And I think they captured it really, really well. And I love seeing people like Angelina Jolie in the MCU, people like Salma Hayek in the MCU. And the experience of going to this red carpet event was like really, really cool. I got to meet Taika Waititi. That was actually kind of funny. We were like just walking, and all of a sudden people yelled like Taika, and I just kind of turned around. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Taika Waititi standing right behind me. And then I just turned. I'm like, hi Taika, my name's Warren. Like, really, really big fan of yours. I talked to him a little bit about Free Guy, and he literally looked at me and went, Albuquerque boiled turkey. Albuquerque boiled turkey. And I was like, no way you just said that to me from Free Guy. And then I told him Jojo Rabbit is like one of my favorite movies, and I expressed how awesome he was in that. And then obviously I told him I was super excited for Thor Love and Thunder. And he's like, oh, if I ever get to finish filming it, because, the delays and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, the delays today. It was such a bummer, man. He's like, yeah. And then I asked if I could grab a quick pic with him, which I did. And I posted a lot of this to my Instagram, and I'm going to be posting a lot more to my personal Instagram and to my main Instagram. So you can find me at Cosmic Warren and at Cosmic Wonder Official if you want to check out some of the photos and videos that I took last night. And really, this movie's sweet. I had a really great experience watching the movie. I was entertained the entire time. I like the stories of each of the characters because they're not always all together in the film, and they concentrate on like different stories, and I think that's really, really cool. And again, the post-credit scenes are just wow. It's not like Venom where it's like everyone was talking about like the post-credit scene. Like the movie there's a lot to talk about in the movie, but then the post-credit scene is like, that's also like a lot to talk about. So yeah, it was just super cool. Finally met Eric Voss in person. Met a lot of cool people in person, and it was just an overall great experience. But the movie itself, I think a lot of people are really going to like this movie. A lot of people are going to really love this movie, and a lot of people are probably going to think that it's so-so. I'm going to go on the side of I actually really loved it. Probably giving that like 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was beautiful. I can't stress that enough. Like the cinematography, the relationship between the characters, some of the scenes, I thought it was touching and beautiful. So it comes out in like 2.5 weeks, so I'm very curious to hear what everybody has to say about it, how everybody feels about the Eternals when it finally comes out. But let me know what you're most excited for in the comments down below. This is one of those times where it's just like I can't really say much, like, because I know stuff now. But anyways, I want to express how grateful I am for all of you for supporting me to be able to go to these premieres and give you my thoughts on them ahead of time. It's a dream come true. I love you all. And if you want to watch more videos about Marvel, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Woof woof.